Oh boy, is this video late. Super fucking late. Quickly gonna say sorry to how delayed this video is, and I know I've teased it on Twitter quite a bit in the past week. Didn't actually get around to do anything for it. I spent the past 2 days scripting and getting everything ready for it, and now I'm actually recording it, so hey, at least I'm actually doing it. While I was off, I did quite a lot of stuff. Like I found a Plants vs. Zombies Easter egg. I torched my partner trying to kill a big dude. I shot up a tall skinny dude. I found the most patriotic car in existence. I tried to kill Adam, but on the way to where he wanted to die, they fucking kept falling over over his 2 feet. Like, dude, you're a 30-year-old man, you've survived the apocalypse this long, and you used to be a goddamn park ranger. How have you not mastered walking this yet? But on top of that, I've also been doing a whole lot of this. I'm dreaming of a white
America.
I'll take it, bud. I'll take it, bud.
Hopefully Trump can build the wall.
Oh yeah, but, you know, it's coming out of taxpayers' money.
No, Mexicans gonna pay for it.
No,
Mexicans gonna pay for
trust,
it. Nah, Mexicans gonna pay for it. Trust me, fam.
Trust
fam.
in
Mexicans are gonna pay for it. Trust me, fam. Mexicans will pay for it.
I love you, Donnie. I hate the fact that that song exists. Oh, sorry, buddy. I don't know. There's so many people over there!
Lynn, did you put your leg through, Andy?
No.
You should do it. You really should do it.
I honestly love having legs, Brad.
Yeah, but it's worth it in the end.
Is it?
Yeah.
I like having legs. I really do.
You don't need them, do you, really?
I do.
You don't need your leg.
How am I gonna do some fuck? How's everybody hating?
Jumped on the fucking... Oh, Disney don't like him. So everyone... So he must be a cunt.
I was about to say, everybody seems to be hating Pewds lately. Because it's a trend.
Have you not seen why?
Oh yeah, I have seen why, and it's not... There are no legitimate reasons.
Yeah.
At all. They're just taking his videos out of context and saying he's a bad...
in the direction. Help the youth!
Well, Keemstar has learned from his mistakes. He's just... Oh my god!
Kinda don't really want to touch guy balls.
You do though.
See...
Let's be honest, when you look into the eyes of another man, you just can't...
One day after he threatens to fund all my... Okay. Okay, Jordan.
No, I said I'll cup your balls with my left hand and shove my finger in your arse with my right hand, so if you try to run off, I'll squeeze your balls with my left.
And you've just said that you don't want to touch a man's balls.
Can you stop firing at a dead body? He's dead. Hopefully a lot of that was amusing to at least one person. If not, I just wasted like 2 hours of my fucking life. So, State of Decay has been out for a long ass time, and it's actually one of my favorite games I've done on the channel. Here's playlist if want watch. Okay, enough about gloating on my channel and my YouTube ego, let's actually do the goddamn video. Days Gone looks really cool, and honestly I'm pretty excited about it, but we kinda just don't know that much info about it. We know there are zombies, a lot of them. We also know that if there's enough of them, they can interact with the environment, so that's cool. From what I can see, there's also a large, beautiful world to explore and even survive in. You can also see that in some screenshots and short bits of gameplay. There are bits of settlements littered around here and there. Obviously, you got your dude, you got your bike, you got your dude and your bike, and you do zombie stuff, and that's cool. But honestly, there's not enough to go off of to, you know, say this is a great game. I do hope it is a great game, but only time can tell. But State of Decay 2. Ooh, where do I start? Well, the game's made by Undead Labs, and they haven't been active for too long, but the games that they have made is actually not the best. At the time, the game that they made was pretty, I wouldn't say revolutionary, but inventive. And the game was good. The game was different. It was very different to games like Dead Island, Dead Rising, and other zombie games. My god, they already get an award from me for not having the word dead in the name of that game. Decay count? Anyway, their first game, being the only game they made up until this point, wasn't great. It was really buggy. It was really easy to exploit loot spawns on the map, and it was incredibly unoptimized for the PC. And I mean, like, no matter how good your PC is, especially now, it doesn't matter. The game just won't want to. It won't want to be smooth 100% of the time, is what I'm saying. And you can see this in a lot of my videos. Feel free to like check them out. But if you're an idiot like me who sank enough hours into the first game to actually enjoy it to the point that it became the only thing I'd fucking live for in my life, you'd know all about this game already. And you'd also know that the developers promised co-op. Yeah, you know that thing that was never put into the game? Well, it's coming in the second one. But the developers and the CEO of Undead Labs said, rather than shooting co-op and potentially detracting from the other areas of the game that need to be addressed, mainly the sandbox, DLC, and other future updates that they wanted to do at the time, Undead Labs has elected to leave out co-op altogether. It would also call for an entire retrofit of the game recoding to be executed, and that is simply not feasible. While this indeed saw sad news, I'm sure we can all respect that the developer wants to continue support over their game and stand by their vision, which is respectable. I can respect that. But don't promise something if you're not sure if you want to put it in next time. Or if you're as cynical as me at times and you really want to boil it down to what it really is, they're too lazy to rework the game and Microsoft wants us to make money off of this. Mostly for them, but shut up. So why am I comparing these two games anyway? They have very little in common, and unlike the last two games I did, they're not as popular, as at least for now. Well, it's because I kind of want to spark a conversation in the comment section, because I know that's been dormant for years. Please comment. I'm so lonely. Let's make it a little more interesting. Let's take a closer look at both of the developers. Undead Labs has a short history. I say short, they started in 2009. It isn't too short, but it's not as long as most game companies these days. And for only making one game, my god, they really need to step up. And yes, I'm discounting State of Decay 2 because it's not made yet. I mean, it could be finished. They might just be waiting to publish it. I don't know. I'm not counting it right now. But their first game, State of Decay, made a little over 500,000 sales, which isn't bad for a game, especially one with very little replayability, unless you have the DLC, which at this point, you can only buy the version with the DLC. But as developers, they have listened to the community and even hosted a few community events, which is pretty cool to be honest. I like seeing developers listen to the community and taking what the community wants, and also just interacting with the community in general. I think it's really good, especially if it's a bigger company. Of course, Undead Labs isn't a big company, but they still take pride in what they do, which any company should, no matter how shitty it is. Now onto a company with a more rich history in video games. Let's talk about Bend Studios, the devs for... If you didn't say Days Gone, you're a fucking idiot. And if you did say Days Gone, good, you're projecting correctly. They actually have a long history in video games, starting back in 1993, with most of their devs being veterans in game development, whether they're artists, writers, or designers. So it's pretty obvious that they know what they're doing. For PlayStation, they've only made PS Vita games like Uncharted Golden Abyss and Five for Fortune, Resistance Retribution, and the Siphon Filter game. So it's pretty safe to say that they're not shy when it comes to making games for a big company, especially with big names like Uncharted. Also, they have a pretty good marketing team behind them. Because that's all Sony's good for. To be honest, I have hope for them. I see their game doing really well. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't, to be honest. But if it tries to compete with The Last of Us, it's going down the drain. But this is their first game that isn't on the PS Vita. I don't think this game's gonna make it to the PS Vita. It is PS4 Pro and PS4 only, to be honest. And honestly, with the PS4's power to performance, I kind of worry. It's not a bad machine. It's just that when you promise a game that looks this pretty, yeah, you gotta really be sparing with how pretty your sliders get. Also, the gameplay better be fucking awesome. It's a fucking zombie game. I swear to God, if you cut down on anything, I'll cut you. I'm sorry, that was mean. Also, the whole thing with the Arc dev saying that the PS4 can perform just as same on $900 PC on Arc, which is kinda true, is pretty stupid to say in general. I bought a PC for around $900 using PC Part Picker, and I checked the benchmarks for the GTX 1060, and the benchmarks on screen are pretty accurate. It does perform similar as a PS4 Pro, because it's on the same game. I decided to change the GTX 1060, the CPU, and the storage, and I decided to go for the 1070, still remaining under $900, or pounds because I'm British, fuck you, and it outperforms the PS4 Pro. Only slightly, but yet again, it's on the same game, and the reason why this is because the game is incredibly unoptimized. I don't know why this person decided to gloat about this. Your game is unoptimized and honestly is just trash. The way you've marketed things in the past, instead of completing the game, releasing a new DLC that adds an entire new game, more or less, to it, is disgusting and stupid. I get you want to make an incredibly pretty game, but if you want anybody to appreciate how pretty your game is, make sure you're not running it on a slideshow. I don't know about you, but when I look at Mass Effect Andromeda, I kind of want to look at it with more than 2 frames on my screen at a time. Either way, the dev that said the PS4 Pro on a $900 PC can perform just the same is very stupid and misinformed. I'll explain that in a later video, but right now, we kinda gotta stick to this shitty video. But Days Gone looks pretty good. Honestly, I have no doubt that it's gonna do well. They're promising quite a lot, especially with the mechanics with the zombies. I mean, if enough zombies stand on a bridge, the bridge kinda collapses. That's cool. And everything seems to be somewhat destructible, from the building walls to just anything. You can interact with so much in the environment. At least that's what they're promising from the gameplay release that we have seen in E3 back in 2016. So honestly, I have no reason to say this game is going to do horrible. But yet again, I had the same feelings with No Man's Sky. Luckily, I was a little more skeptical with No Man's Sky, so I wasn't too surprised when I was disappointed. So I guess I'm just going to have to check the reviews when the game comes out before I actually decide I might spend money on this. Wait, I won't be spending money on this. I don't even have a PlayStation. Ha! Hey, Brad, yeah, borrowing your PlayStation for a little while. But I guess this is what I want to ask you. What do you think of State of Decay 2? What do you think of Days Gone? What do you think of the guys behind both these games? You think both companies have done well in the past, or good enough to say that the games that they're going to be releasing this year are going to do incredibly well, or even work very well? Or do you think the person who made that fucking statement about the PS4 Pro and the $900 PC is an idiot and should headbutt a table repeatedly? And which game do you think will take the zombie genre by storm? I'd like to know what you guys think in the comments below. Like, if you like this style of video, it's something I kind of want to try out and see how long I can drag it out for before the quality gets incredibly crappy and I decide, fuck it, I'm throwing this one out the window too. Let's be honest, it's something I do quite a lot. Anyway, I'm gonna play more video games.